Yeah, thank you, Guy, for being present in this, our last and final panel here on the FoME Symposium, discussing and wrapping up basically the results, if there are some results. There are always questions and results, and the consequences of the digital development for media development. And I would like first to ask you, what role do you see for media development in lobbying for internet freedom, as we talked a lot about the challenges for internet freedom, and that lots of the challenges are not happening online but offline. So where do you see the role for media development in lobbying for internet freedom?
I think in the internet, fortunately, you have lots of stakeholders besides media who want to have freedom on the internet. So there's a possibility then for media development organizations to go into an arena and not be alone, but to encourage the alliances there, because part of the importance, I think, of having a free internet is that media can do their job, and also they can focus on their distinctiveness. What is their unique value add in amongst all the other communication that's taking place? But if journalists on the internet are too busy fighting for their right to not be censored, or watching who is surveying them and worried that this could be used against them if they're being blackmailed, these are serious questions. And so I think because a lot of media and journalistic content is more and more to be found on the internet, media development organizations have an interest there. How do they do it? I think they can support their existing partners to be involved in this space, to take part in multi-stakeholder forums like Internet Governance Forum. There's now a process which is the World Summit on Information Society Review Mechanism. There will be a conference in UNESCO next year, ITU the following year, General Assembly the year after that, on the World Summit on Information Society. This is a very important arena for debate about how free should the internet be. And so the media development organizations can easily get involved in those, even not through their partners, but even directly, to say our interests are to have freedom of expression on the internet.
And talking about the whole topic of the conference, linking online and offline activism, one of the panelists, not on our panel, but on the previous panel, had said training of communities, dealing with communities, activists, is not always widely accepted. So do you really see a role for media development in linking digital and real-world activism? And a further question to you as an observer, having in mind the broader picture and intentional observation, do you see different approaches?
Well, I think there are different approaches, because I think good journalism needs to be independent. It cannot become the public relations side of a particular cause, even if you think it's a good cause. But they can and should be activists, independent journalists for press freedom. And your other digital activists should also have an interest in press freedom. So I think from two different points of view, the activists and the journalists can find common ground without compromising their things. One is not saying to the activists, become independent, but you're not saying to the journalists, become an environmental activist. But what you're saying is that both of you share this important place, that there should be freedom for both of you to do your jobs. And that's a kind of a partnership that I think you can do. That's why I think when journalists work offline, they don't always realize that they have a common interest with activists. They need to keep some independence from activists. But when you go online, you can easily make reports about what is happening in that space, taking into account the interest. Why does an environmental activist need freedom of expression online? Need access to information online from their point of view, and why is that also good for you as a journalist, that there should be that situation, so that if you have freedom of expression for everybody on the internet, it can be a benefit for both groups.
Okay, thank you.